camera back to me. Hello, YouTube sphere. I gotta get a better light. We're gonna get started now. You know I gotta start off with a smile. Happy, tantalizing, terrific, triumphant Tuesday, everyone. It's a great day to have a great day. It's a great night to have a great night. It's beautiful here in the city of Detroit. Do you understand that? Do you understand how that feels to have an 86-degree day in the D right now? You just don't understand. Hello to everyone. But then my daughter has prom Thursday. Graduation Friday is supposed to rain. Like, why we couldn't get this weather then? But grateful all the same. If you live in the Midwest, it's been still chilly here in Indianapolis, Chicago. Like all of us been. I got excuse me. I got friends in Chicago. I have friends, in Indianapolis. Um, well, I appreciate you. Um, thank you for your support. So it's just been just breathtaking and refreshing just to have one day. So we'll see what tomorrow brings. This is Michigan. But my name is Toria Howard. I am here, okay, to educate you. I'm an educator. So I'm here to educate you on some real estate today. It's Real Estate Tuesday. And I am talking about something that's a bad word to some people, to a lot of people, to some, to many, whatever. It's called budgeting, right? So as a real estate professional, and financial literacy educator together, I like to tell people the background of owning real estate because a lot of times people don't really understand that part of it. They want to get to the glitz and the glamour part of owning real estate, but you have to go back to the basics. So today, I'm talking about a zero base budget. What the abbreviation is ZBB. So what does that mean? So that means every dollar has an assignment, right? Every dollar that you have has an assignment. So if you don't have a plan for your money's going to have a plan for you. You know that in many ways than one, if you don't want to recognize it, whatever the case may be. But if you don't have a plan for your money's going to have a plan for you. And I'm going to show you how to have a plan for your money so that you're able to be ready to, invest in this beautiful market of real estate. Because if you're in a city like Detroit and that's heavy, you see, excuse me, a lot of infrastructure going on. You see a lot of things moving, investments coming, landmarks. They doing multi-million-dollar deals, bringing things here, bringing restaurants. You know that the real estate in your area is booming, especially if it's in a place like, Detroit or other places where things seem like have died, because people counted Detroit out. People thought Detroit was about to die. We are on the come up, baby. And your city probably is too. So you need to be taking advantage and understanding what's going on in your market. What's going on in your market, especially if you're in a metro area, gentrification is going on. And sometimes the hood is, as people are running away from it, people are running to it. So you need to make sure that you are understanding how this works. They're slicing those prices down and then they're going to go right back up once the improvement happens. So you need to as John Hope Bryan says, go where the puck is going instead of where it already is. So we're going to talk about the groundwork because you got to have a foundation. You got to have the foundation of how to get to the money, right? And a lot of times people don't want to talk about it. A lot of times people don't want to go to the budgeting part. But we're going to talk about zero-based budgeting, which means every dollar you earn is assigned to a category. Nothing is left floating out there. A lot of times we don't have an assignment for it. We just swipe in, automatic things coming out, whatever, but you have to be proactive. And so this is a way for you telling your money what it's going to do instead of wondering where it went. So that's what we're talking about today. So for example, if you bring home $5,000 a month, your entire $5,000 gets assigned to needs, goals, debts, savings, etc., and your budget should end at zero. Not that you have zero money, but whatever that budget is for that $5,000 that's assigned to those those things and those categories should be zero and not negative. Okay. So why home ownership needs zero-based budgeting? Let me tell you why. Unexpected expenses. So water heaters break, property taxes, HOA fees. You have, things that certain things that the insurance company don't pay for. If you don't read your fine print, or they'll find a way not to pay. Insurance companies, I hate to say it, but they find a way not to pay. So you need to make sure that you're having these things in your emergency home fund. So you want to avoid late fees and debt buildup due to forgotten bills. Sometimes we get caught up in certain things. Sometimes we get caught up in pleasure and want to go on vacations and do all the things, especially in the summertime, right? People don't want to hear about no budget. On when you want to go on vacation, you want to put your feet in the sand and your face in the sun. I know I don't. Money is no object when you're feeling good, and when the weather is good, you feel good. You want to be out, you want to be spending, but make sure that you're taking care of home or the future home that you are wanting to get. So using extra cash to build a cushion or invest in upgrades are the best thing. So I'm talking to homeowners and first time home buyers. So you want to build up cushion on both sides. You want cushion on both sides. So a lot of first time home buyer programs afford you to not have to pay closing costs, not have to pay for a down payment, but you still have to pay for your inspection and your appraisal. And so a lot of times you get money back at the closing table if you have the right team involved, right? Because if you stack these grants that they have, it's so much money out here to buy a home right now. Like, people need to take advantage. Like the Detroit program, the 25K program is closed, but Michigan still has their 25K program. Then they have the Michigan program for Michigan. Then if you are a public servant, like a teacher, firefighter, police officer, nurses, different people are like that. They have grants for us, because I'm an educator. I teach 8th grade, but they have grants for you. So you can stack these grants on top of each other, get everything paid for, and get a check at the closing table. So you want to create that cushion on your own, though, because you want to have your furniture. You want to be able to pay up your mortgage a little bit, so you can cut that mortgage you have. And if you own a home already, you want to invest in your upgrades. Do you understand, if you invest in improving your kitchen, that's a $50,000 to $70,000, $50,000 to $70,000 increase in your home worth, depending on what you do. Lowest end, I would say $30K, depending on what you do. But the kitchen is like the biggest home equity boost. Okay. It increases your homework. It doesn't matter. People love a kitchen. Don't matter if they love to cook, don't like to cook, whatever. People love the kitchen because people like to entertain in the kitchen, whatever, be around the kitchen. So the kitchen, the next thing is the master bathroom. Like, people love to have a master bathroom that's comfortable, that's cozy, that's spa-like, or all depending on your neighborhood. So you got to invest in these upgrades. Your curb appeal. People love to see a great house. Put some flames in the comments if I'm giving you something great. So that'd be great to give me some boost. So you need to make sure your curb appeal can give you $5,000 to $20,000 extra worth on your property. If you have a flex space, a basement area, or like a den or something like that, that area alone can give you $50,000 to $30,000. So you always have to make sure that you are doing all that you need to do in order for you to be able to increase your value. So let's give a real world scenario. So you're a homeowner with a mortgage of $1,500. Instead of just paying that and winging the rest, a ZEB, as we call it, ZBB, helps you plan for utilities, maintenance, lawn care, savings, and fun, all on a purpose. So this zero budget has something to do with your fun fund. If you have one of those, some people save for going on vacations and for things like that. So have that a part of your budget. If you plan on going on vacation, put a 1 in the chat this summer. If you plan on going on vacation this summer, you want to put your feet in the sand and you're facing the sun, or go whatever sightseeing, wherever it is, put a 1 in the comments. I would love to know. So you can put that as part of your budget. If your hair is a non-negotiable, your haircuts, your hairstyles, your nails, if that is non-negotiable, that goes in there. If you know you are a person that are on the go a lot, and maybe you can't cook a lot, but you're going to sacrifice a little bit so that you can have a little bit more for your fun. Okay. Hey, David. Um, so you have a little bit more for your fun. You're going to cook, maybe instead of eating out 7 days a week, you're going to, go out only 4, you know, save yourself a little bit of money. I'm not telling people to deprive themselves of their lifestyle, but you have, in this climate that we're in, investing is the game. So you want to have that zero. If you invest in the stock market, crypto, you buying precious metal like gold and silver and all of those things, you buying Bitcoin, all of this stuff goes into this zero budgeting fund. Like, I have my savings account is my investment account on Charles Schwab. That's what my investment account is. Hey, Nisa. So that's what I do for my savings, because it's going to give me an 8 to 10% return, let alone a 0.001 return. But you find what's best for you, right? So I take some money out and I put it into my brokerage account, and that's where my savings are. I own, financially illiterate, took away some of my fun, but I own an ETF, a tech ETF, and I own a REIT. So that's what I work. But I'm working on getting my Apples and my Nvidias and all of that stuff back as well. That's if you know the stock market, you know what I'm talking about. But anyway, let's go back. So you want to make sure that you are doing the things that you need to do to have the things that you want to have. I'm not telling you to take out the fund, but budget for it. Don't just be winging it out here. Budget for it, right? So the third thing I want to do is, let's talk about some numbers. And this would have been better on a whiteboard, and I'll probably redo it on a whiteboard or, the chart paper. So let's say you earn $4,500 a month, right? Here's how you break it down. So your mortgage is $1,500, your utilities is $350. That's typically on the high end. Some places your groceries are $600. I know I spend about that much because I eat healthy. So the healthier you eat, the more expensive it is for you to eat. That's crazy. If you want to eat garbage, it don't even cost you that much. But because I juice and I'm vegan, it costs more. So my grocery bill might be 600 plus. Might be about excuse me, about close to 7, because I have to have a lot of fruit to juice. I use a lot of vegetables and stuff to make my ground meat and stuff like that. Your car note and insurance, $500. Your maintenance for your sinking fund, you put $100 towards that. Emergency savings, you got $300 towards that. You have fun and entertainment, you got $200, right? Credit card payments, $250. You invest in your 401k maybe, or maybe it's just taken out of your check already. Maybe that's $300. So anything that's already taken out of your check or whatever, you don't put that on your budget. Like anything that's already pre-taxed, that's not a part of it. It's only in the money that you get. So if you have birthdays and gifts and stuff like that, maybe that's $100. And then if you get your hair done, like for me, I get a hairstyle like this. This will last me like 4 weeks, so I'm spending like $100, a month for my hair. Nails is probably like, pedicure, manicure, like $100. And then, I don't buy clothes every month. So, put your clothing budget in there. So some people, like their lifestyle is built on, they have to have clothes to go to work and do different things as part of your lifestyle. So put those things in there. So the things that you need that are a necessity that people may tend to be a luxury might not be a luxury for you. It might be a need. And things that's a need for you might be a luxury for others. So, and vice versa. So you need to just make sure that you're including these things and looking at it. And that's a total of $4,500, per se. So now that's how you make your money clock in and go to work, because you given an assignment. That's what a budget does. It's not to restrict you. It's giving your money an assignment. Just like you're a business owner. How many business owners out there? Okay. Put some flames in the chat for the business owners. Okay. Put some flames in the chat for the business owners. If you're a business owner, put a flame in the chat. You have an assignment for every dollar you spend in your business. Why is it not like that for your personal? So Some common mistakes to avoid, that's the fourth thing, is not budgeting for home maintenance. A lot of people don't do this, okay? And you need to do this. I'm talking to the homeowners now. You need to make sure that you're budgeting for home maintenance. Yes, you have a homeowner's insurance. Yes, you have a home warranty, but sometimes they don't cover things. So know how much the five major things that could go wrong cost you. So know how much a roof costs, your HVAC, your plumbing, your electrical, and your foundation will cost you. If you start seeing cracks in your wall, if you start seeing cracks in your driveway, if you start seeing cracks in your garage, if you start seeing lifting in your driveway and your walkways and stuff like that, that can cause a foundation issue. So you have to make sure that you're paying attention on top of putting these things away. So for instance, if your roof is $15,000 to replace and you know it's going to take you 20 years, so you take that 15,000 divided by 20, whatever that number is, then you divide that by 12. That's how much you should save per month for your roof. You know how much it is going to cost for electrical things. So know your numbers for your home. Just like if you're a business owner, you know the numbers to run your business. Know the numbers to run your home. So another thing is ignoring annual costs. Homeowners insurance is a little tricky because it should be tied into your escrow. What is escrow? Escrow is the money that you pay with your that's your PITI, the principal, taxes, insurance, um, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, PITI. So that is already factored into your escrow, which is an account that is held by your mortgage company to pay these things. So you pay your taxes and your insurance out of that, and they usually take that out um, yearly, but it's already built up in your account, so that doesn't really um, bother you. So just know those annual costs that you might have. The HOA is not included in your escrow. And then another thing is forgetting to assign money for giving, saving, and emergencies. Like your home maintenance emergency fund is different. Your emergency fund for like medical stuff and things that happen. If those of us that have children, things happen. You might have to take them to the hospital. That health insurance might not pay. So having an emergency fund for stuff like that, car repairs, stuff like that, and then your savings. Like I said, my savings is in the stock market. I choose to do that because the banks are investing our money too. I might as well do it too. I'm gonna invest where they're investing. They buying cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and doing all these things. So I'm gonna do the same thing. So the last thing I want to do is how this connects to how this connects to your real estate, right? So the thing is, people forget about how it will affect your real estate. So the thing is, Zeb ZBB, zero base budgeting, frees up extra cash to pay down debt and increase your credit score. So you want to increase your credit score because you don't never know what you're going to use your credit for. You might want to, a refinance, hopefully not, but you might want to get a home equity line of credit to do something with your equity. You might want to build that up to do something with. So you need to make sure that your credit is still good. Um, it better budgeting is more stable. It's a more stable finances, better positioning for, like I said, for upgrades. Because a lot of times you want to upgrade your home, right? Especially if you're forever home or buying investment properties, you want to use your home as leverage. You want to be able to use your home as a stepping stone to do something else, to invest in something else, to buy another investment property, to buy your next home, whatever that is. Start with your starter home, or if you're in your dream home. Sometimes things change. You might want to downsize or whatever. You might want to rent that out or however it is. Just make sure that you have a plan for your money and have a plan for your house for it to make money for you as well. So give your house an assignment. So that's it. That's it, y'all. That's all I wanted to discuss today is how to make your budget part of your lifestyle and not as a restriction. If you make it as a restriction, it's going to keep you in the chokehold and it's not going to be good for you. And it's not going to work for you. So, with that being said, as a first-time home buyer, go ahead and click that link in my bio and you can get the my first-time home buyer guide, which is a journey to your castle, and which is a segue to my book that's coming out soon, which is Keys to Your Castle. Just something that I took from there that I already wrote to give you just a shorter guide to help you get to your financial independence with buying your home faster, and then bundle it with a house rich and money smart. That's for homeowners, but you can bundle it and get a head start. So once you get in your home, boom, you got it going, you got your education. And homeowners, if you don't have a plan for your home and your home is working you and you not working it, house rich and money smart is what you need. So I bid you adieu. Everybody have an amazingly beautiful, blessed night, and I'll see you again in these social media streets. And next Tuesday for Real Estate Tuesday. Stay tuned.
Well, that's a good one. There was a lot of Lakers hype. There was a lot of Lakers hype right when they made that Luka trade.
Bye,
They added all this
Supersphere.
depth. They get JJ Redick. They got Dan Hurley waiting